red flags you should never ignore. Hey, my name is Magda K, and in this video I want to talk to you about 7 red flags you should never ignore. Now, I'm not gonna share some obvious things that you've seen in other videos. These are the red flags that hardly anyone talks about. But if you notice them in the potential partner, you should be extremely careful. So let's jump right into it. Number 1 is how they treat their enemies. So it happens often. You may meet someone and they're very loyal and they value loyalty. But see if there's any shadow to that. Is that loyalty a little too intense? So how do they talk about other people? Do they use words such as ally? Because if there's an ally, that implies that there is an enemy as well. Because remember, right now you are on their side, but one day you may not. If you do something that upsets them or if you break up, then you become the enemy. So be careful, very, very careful, how they treat people they don't like, how they treat people who did something bad towards them, the people that became the enemies. Because one day you just may be one of them. Number 2, how do they honor their own boundaries? So they may be too weak in their boundaries, meaning that they don't honor their own space. It's hard for them to speak up and say no, and that's already not good because you want someone who has the ability to stand up for themselves and honor their boundaries. But also notice, because they may be too pushy, they may be too intense, and them honoring their own boundary may in fact be more of an attack. If that's the pattern that you're observing, that actually means that these people do not feel empowered. They actually feel helpless and hopeless, and they use force, anger, and intensity to push against the person just because they don't actually know how to manage this. So whether they're too weak or too intense in how they stand up for their boundaries, both of them are red flags you wanna keep an eye on. Number 3, what is their mindset around money? Now, this is not about how much money they have, it's whether they are stuck in the scarcity mindset or not. So if we have the scarcity mindset around money, that actually means that we are pessimistic and that we don't believe that we can create the life that we desire. So is this the person that you would like to have the rest of your life with? Because when we believe that we're not gonna get the money that we want, we also become very needy and entitled. Because we feel that other people have, we don't, meaning there is injustice in life. And that opens a lot of space for very unhealthy dynamics. When your partner may be needy towards you, if you start making money, they will be jealous, they will be demanding things from you, they will become condescending and bitter. So it's super important that these people, the person you want to date, that they are actually optimistic, that they believe that they can create abundance, and that they believe they can make a lot of money. That impacts everything in a relationship. Number 4 is their immunity. Do they have good or bad health? Now, this is not just the physical aspect. The thing is that if someone has really bad immunity, if they get sick very often, that shows that their energy body is weak. And the energy body is basically the source of everything. It's the source of our strength, of our vitality, of our ability to feel, of how we are projected into the world. So you want someone who actually has a well-balanced energy body, because when they do, then they can actually show up for you. That means that they're in a mature expression of both feminine and masculine, that they've stepped up. Now, if someone has bad immunity system, it also means that their inner fire isn't well developed. And the fire is the element in us that allows us to accomplish goals. It's what makes us determined and focused and be able to, manage our cravings and our weaknesses to go for something bigger, to stay focused on what gives us fulfillment and satisfaction instead of that instant gratification. So this is actually a really big red flag, because we're not talking about what is their diet, if they're exercise, but the strength of the body. And especially if you're someone who wants a family, who wants children, it is important that your partner is in a good physical health to be fertile and also live long enough to be able to provide for the family and stay with you for many, many years. Number 5, are they able to keep eye contact with you, especially in public places? So as simple as it is, eye gazing is one of the most profound tantric tools, because when you look into the person's eyes, and I mean in their eyes, not somewhere else, it's a very vulnerable place to be in. One is that you open yourself up and allow the person to go inside of you, to see you, and then you do the same for the other person. So it's the ability to be seen and see. And it's easy to keep, sight on your person for like a minute or two, but try doing this for 10 or 15. So check, when you're having longer conversations with your potential partner, can they look into your eyes or are they distracted? Some people you'll find that they just cannot stay focused with you. And again, this is their ability to stay focused in life, on you as a partner, on your relationship, on their mission in life. So this is a very important quality. And again, if they have a lot of blockages from looking into your eyes and being seen, it means that they will struggle to really drop into intimacy with you. So you may actually not feel met on this level. Number 6, how do they react to your no? So let's say they propose something, want to take you out, and you say, no, I don't want it. Observe their body and what they say. Do they contract? Do they tense? Is there any sign that they're angry and not happy that you just expressed your disapproval of something? Or do they just welcome it? They're like, okay, fine, if you don't want to do it, what would you like to do instead? So this is a very important thing to pay attention to, because so often happens that we get into relationships and after a while, the selfishness of your partner may come up. You realize that you don't get to have a different opinion. You don't get a say because they expect you to agree with them or do whatever they want, or only their needs are important. So you can actually check in for this right away, first, second date. How do they react when you disagree with them? And finally, and this is especially true for the first date, how much are they interested in you? So how much do they ask about you versus how much do they want to share about themselves? Now, most of the things you probably have seen online is that, if he or she only talks about themselves, like, okay, time to go, they're selfish. But not so much, because the opposite scenario is also not good. So if they take huge interest in you and they keep asking you questions, and you may feel like, oh my God, they're so interested in me, I'm the center of attention, I'm feeling great. But if they're not equally sharing about themselves, that shows that they are either hiding something or that they don't want to be vulnerable, that they don't want to share who they are with you. So what you're looking for is this equal balance, that they're interested in you just as much as they want you to be interested in them. Anything that's off balance means that either they don't want to be vulnerable or that they are selfish. So these are the 7 red flags I want you to pay attention to at the beginning of the dating process. How are they showing up in all of these areas? Because once we get into the relationship, once we have sex and the emotions start flowing, it's so easy to just ignore those red flags. So you have to be very vigilant at the very beginning of the process, when you're not yet attached, when you're not yet fully emotionally engaged, because you're still in the power and in control of your no. You still have the ability to walk away or to bring it up with them and say, hey, I've noticed this or that. Can you tell me more about this? You can still do something. But when you start ignoring these red flags and you go deeper into the relationship, oftentimes we end up being just taken into the whole experience and we lose the ability to walk away, even though we may be aware that this is not the best partner for us. So love, if you would like more personal assistance from me regarding your intimate life and relationships, check the link in the description of this video and book a free consultation with me. So we just get to talk and see if we are a good match to work together. So you'll see the link in the description of this video and it's totally for free. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be catching you soon. Mwah.